What's up?
Sean, congratulations on the victory. I know you didn't necessarily get the finish you wanted, but it was a pretty incredible performance overall. So I'm sure you'll break it down afterwards. But as you sit there, how do you feel about the way you performed tonight?
Yeah, something about not getting the finish that just doesn't sit right with me. It's just like fuck. But I also haven't watched it. Obviously, once I watch it back, I think I'll be a little bit more excited. But I always want to get that finish.
Yeah. Saw you, obviously, the boot on the foot, a little bit of a limp as you walked out. I guess, do you know what the status is of it right now and when the injury occurred?
No, I think I've had a pretty major surgery on this foot before, so I think it tends to flare up after you kick someone in the head a few times. So I don't think it's anything serious. Hopefully not, but yeah, I think it's just gonna be a little swollen for a few weeks, and we'll be back to work.
Like you said, great performance. I mean, was there anything that surprised you? I know you knew how durable he was and all those things, but I mean, was there anything at all that surprised you that happened in there?
No, not at all. I mean, I knew I was better than this guy for 3.5 years. I knew the first fight was a fluke, and I proved that. So it felt good.
At the end of the fight, you kind of sat down against the cage. I was curious if that was physical because of the foot or if there was something emotional or just exhaustion after 25 minutes. What was going on there?
Fuck, he just hit me with a nice body shot. Tim told me, like, don't sit. You don't need to. You're winning the fight. You don't need to sit there. But I wanted that finish so bad. I thought I could sit in the pocket and fucking trade. And he hit me with a nice body shot, and I just was like, all right, he whooped his ass. I'm gonna sit down and chillax for a little bit.
Fair enough. Last thing for me, I mean, you said it in the cage. You'd like to see Ilir Topuria. He's a scary guy. It'd be fun. But you said, hey, Merab, if that's the fight everybody wants, we'll do that one too. So how do you make that decision? How do you allow that choice to be made?
It's nice having options. It's hard to make a decision right after the fight. We'll see, how it plays out. Talk to the UFC, talk to Hunter, Dana, and, we'll see what happens.
Sean, obviously, you always took that first loss to Chito kind of like in good nature and always said you're undefeated and stuff. But was there something on your mind about, like, I want to prove to everyone that I am actually just way better than this guy?
A little bit. I mean, I literally, truly always knew I was better than him. It never bothered me once that fight played out like that. I mean, look where I was at, considering I played out like that, beat Thomas Almeida in one of the most, beautiful performances I ever had. So, that fight never bothered me. I try not to care what people think, and I knew I was better than him, and it took a little 3.5 years to go and prove that, and I did.
Obviously, you landed the two massive knees on him in the second, I think, and looked like you had him very badly hurt, but you also sort of knew that he's a very hard guy to put away. Did you see that I'm not necessarily going to be able to finish this guy right away?
Yeah, he's hard to catch. He's hard to hit clean. So I didn't want to waste energy trying to put his lights out if I wasn't going to be able to. So I'm a vet. I'm a veteran. I've done this for a long time, and you know when to use your energy and when to save it. And I didn't feel like I could put his lights out right then and there, so it saved the energy.
Are you kind of surprised he didn't just spam the calf kick over and over again?
Not really. I think it's like leg kicks are dangerous, but they're also not just easy to fucking throw. You can't just throw them and just know you're gonna land them every time. They're if you get checked, it hurts. If you throw it and step in with the right hand, you're off balance. So it's not as easy as just throwing a leg kick and you're going to land it.
Sean, right here. At Media Day, you said, we'll never be buds and this and that, but did you talk to Chito at all? I know I saw you guys, like, bump fists, but was there anything else said between you guys?
No, nothing was said, just a little handshake. I think he told Tim we'll never be friends or something like that. But, it is what it is. I mean, I'd be jealous and hate me too.
What did you make of the crowd and the scenes? That press conference Dana White said is one of the loudest he's ever seen. They were chanting, they were dueling USA and Ecuador chants during your fight.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's so weird to be me right now. Like just being able to stand there and listen to that and perform for the people. If it wasn't for the fans, if it wasn't for the media to cover this sport, I wouldn't be in this position. So it's a really, really cool. And I'm really grateful for you guys and the fans that watch.
One more thing to throw at you. This is one of the largest, if not the largest, non-McGregor gates for a UFC pay-per-view. So what do you make of like another thing like that on your belt?
Yeah, I think I'm creeping up there. I'm getting up there. At the end of the day, UFC doesn't need anyone. They're gonna find stars. They're gonna make put on crazy fights regardless. But I think I'm working my way up to one of the biggest names in the sport.
One of your teammates, Kyler Phillips, he got a big win too, and we asked him like, would it be an issue? Would it be like Merab and Aljo, like with you guys not fighting? He says, we'll fight, we'll make money. Mario Bautista you threw in there too. So do you have to have that conversation with your teammates, or is it just like, we'll have to fight someday?
I don't know. We'll go with the flow if it happens. I feel like I could move up to 45. I feel like I'm gonna get to a point to where I don't even need the belt. I'm bigger than the belt. I have the belt. I'm gonna fight. I'll be main event at fucking 140 at 142 and a half just for fucking fun. I can. I'm getting to that point. So the belt's cool, but once you get to a certain point, you can main event and just kind of fight. Look, Conor was 45-pound champ fighting at 170, fighting Nate. Like I want to get there.
And last one for me, we saw the video clip of kind of Marab walking up to you when you were leaving. Did you guys say anything?
I don't know, like if I got hit in the head too. I was like, what the fuck? Who is this random guy talking to me? I was like, who the fuck? And then I realized it was Marab, and then it was his buddy was yelling or something. But yeah, I mean that fight very well could happen next.
Sean over here. I know you said you probably won't be buds with Chito, but when you look at the fighter version of Chito, what do you think he should do next with his career?
Chito versus Henry could be an interesting fight. Chito versus Peter could be an interesting fight. Chito versus Aljo would have been an interesting fight. He's somewhat of a star, so he's got some good options too. But he'll probably need some good amount of time off as well. I think I broke his face.
Kind of like they just mentioned there with the energy in Miami this whole week. How did it feel not being, the 100% unanimous fan favorite going into this fight week? I know other than that yawn fight week, you were kind of a fan favorite everywhere you went.
I show up and perform wherever we're at. I could, fly to Spain and fight Elia. That doesn't bother me. It's cool, having the fans there for me specifically, but it's just cool being a part of it. So that didn't bother me.
Sean over here.
Hey Sean, I just checked, so congrats for your first title defense, and I just checked all your social media and everyone writes that you should fight next Merab, and what's your response just?
Next fight what?
So everyone says and everyone comments that you next should fight Merab, and what's your answer just?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Over here. What about the Ilia Topuria fight calls your attention? Is it making history, that second belt? Is it something specifically about him? The undefeated? What is it about him that calls your attention?
Yeah, I mean, it's moving up to 45. That's champ versus champ. Automatically is huge. Just knocked out Alexander Volkanovski. That's massive. It's just an exciting fight. I'm here for massive fights, and that's what I want to be a part of. So if that's it, sweet. If Merab's it, sweet. I like having options.
Yeah. And you prefer Ilia over Merab?
Not necessarily. I mean, I guess if it looks, technically I'm not defending a belt, so I don't know about pay-per-view. I would have to talk to the UFC. I don't think that would be an issue. I've always been able to work out something with the UFC. So, if that's the case, that might be a bigger fight. But again, we'll talk and figure it out.
And how would you think a fight with Ilia would go?
I think a fight with anybody, I win by knockout. Obviously, I didn't knock Chito out, but, don't lose confidence from that. Chito's, so tough. But, yeah, I believe I could put Ilia's lights out.
Yeah. And lastly, I know you don't count it, but, technically you guys are one-on-one. Do you see a trilogy happening in the future, or do you feel like you're done with Chito for the rest of your career?
Yeah, no, the Sugar State Athletic Commission, they said if I win this fight that they'll take that first fight away. So I'm officially undefeated again, and it feels really good. So we're just 1-0 right now.
Sean right here. This may signal the end of things like it did earlier, but I'm going to ask about your shorts. You've been known to change your hair a fair bit. Are the pink shorts here to stay, or could you change those up too?
Yeah, I like this pink. I'm going to rock it. So if UFC is going to let me keep using the pink, I'm going to keep rocking it.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, Sean. Do you think your problems with Chito end that today? Also, do you remember the day that you guys talked in a pool in Las Vegas?
No, I don't. I've never really had a conversation with Chito other than, at the PI once, but yeah, I don't know.
What about the problems you guys have before it is ended today?
I've never not liked him. I just, he doesn't like me. He's jealous. I get it. It's whatever, but he doesn't like me for some reason. I don't have a problem with
You will see one more fight with him in the future, maybe?
Probably not.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, I think I had a 50-44 at one point, so yeah, probably not. All right, I'm going to the club. Peace.